other people. Country movement to lend support to the group.
I mean, I think it's important our conversation as political officers do not sit aside, but they gain their voice, that they match that voice with the determination to show up when pensioners have shown that we young people also show up for them. And I think it's important in mobilizing people to support these movements that we also put our currency behind initiatives like this in order to carry forward the message and the resistance that they're showing.
In the sun for several days, hoping that that will ensure that their current predicament can be contained.
In fact, looks at the weakest. See the lion standing, watching the head of cattle move. It will watch, and the one that doesn't go with the rhythm of their running, then will go and catch it. So what is happening is like we are in the animal kingdom. And it shouldn't happen like that. If this, it means survival of the fittest. When the trade unions, when they rose up, the finance minister chickened out.
There was a closed door meeting between the minister and the pensioners. Again today, he came down from his office to say a few words to the pensioners. The minister was trying to understand some of their difficulties and why they're here, even after giving assurances that their bonds would be paid when they are due. So this is where it became eventful. While the minister was speaking, Oliver Bawku
I had a press release. I did unequivocally clear that, because that assurance has been given to talk with you guys to see what it is that you are afraid of or that you think will not happen. So my issue, which I told your leader, was that now you have very little of the old bond in the system, which means that in the event of that paper in, it's really diminished. Honor those papers. So I'm a little unclear, as to exactly what now to you. Yeah. Exactly. I beg your pardon. Are you
the conversation whisked away by security, and he later called on holders forum. After the meeting, we caught up with convener for the forum, Dr. Edouard Nani-Entry.
Had all discussion with the minister. The minister has brought us all the position. We have also sent the position, so we have left it with the minister. Short tale is that we said we just want the exemption, using the word you have. I've been hopeful from day one. I will be hopeful until it comes. I didn't start this if I didn't know it can work. I'm weeping. You don't come and dance. Huh? So that is the thing that I was going to tell them, that you don't come. You sit down quietly, listen if you are giving me support, but not to come and put in your own words and your... That's what I want to... it's like what derail whatever we are doing, our agenda. Essentially, that's all that I can say.
Although the minister has promised to take this matter up to the president and discuss with him ways of solving this issue, the pensioners say they will continue to protest until they get that exemption. So tomorrow, they are joining the minister in Parliament and hear what the minister has to say to Parliament, who have invited him over to explain some issues concerning the domestic debt exchange program. My name is Charles Osukume. I've been reporting from the Finance Ministry for Citi News.
Has described as illegal the at Nararugu. The government in the statement also reiterated that Naba Asigri Abu Grago Azoka II is the Bawku Naba duly gazetted in the protracted Bawku conflict. Mamprugu na Buhugu Mahama Abdullahi Shariga II on Wednesday, February 15, for the enskinment of the new Bawku Naba, despite by the government and the Upper East Regional House of Chiefs as the legitimate ruler of the area. Now, the security agencies have therefore been directed to arrest and prosecute any other person who holds himself out as a Bawku Naba. Now, still on the same story, members of parliament in the Kusol traditional area have described the enskinment of the new chief as null and void. Addressing the media, the spokesperson of the group and the member of parliament for Zebila, Cletus Avoka, more in the following report by Citi News' Ni Aikwe Okain.
Members of Parliament from the Kusol traditional area on Wednesday condemned the purported enskinment of a new chief for Bawku, describing the act as null and void.
Such purported enskinment is null and void and will not be recognized by any institution. The government of Ghana must take every step to ensure the maintenance of peace and security and hold perpetrators of this criminal act accountable. Meanwhile, the members of parliament for the we are watching closely the level of political will of the government of President Nana Akufo-Addo and Vice President Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia in respecting the Constitution of Ghana and the right of the Kusasi people to rule over their own land and to have their independence. The Zugrana Naba Asigri Aborago Azoka II, who is the Bawku Naba and President of the Kusa Traditional Council, remains the only recognized permanent
cedis to its National Rental Assistance Scheme, and this is an intervention that seeks to offer Ghanaians above the age of 18 with verifiable employment and national ID rent loans as part of efforts to offer a decent accommodation. But in an interview with Citi News, a member of the Works and Housing Committee of Parliament, Emmanuel Bazaar, says the initiative is not feasible due to the current economic crisis.
It is a form of they are setting up a private enterprise that will take care of applications from citizens who have applied. Then also, after which the money will be disbursed. Now, why is it not feasible? It's not feasible because we are talking about sustainability. Sustainability in terms of, if you look at the economy now, how many people will be able, when this money is given, to have something doing, work at hand, and be able to pay for loan that has been given to them with interest, knowing very well that government itself does not even have money, and government has to go and borrow money. So, first of all, the economy will not be able to support it. That 30 million, initially, I know in their manifesto is over 100 million, and they've come up with 30 million. And so, it's not feasible. It's another way of getting Ghanaians to believe that whatever they promise in their manifesto, they want to fulfill it. But as to whether it's feasible, it is not.
Answering questions on the floor of Parliament, the Minister for Water and Sanitation, Cecilia Abnadapa, assured the MP for Yendi that work on the Yendi water system is set to commence in the second quarter of this year.
I'd like to ask the Minister of Sanitation and Water Resources what accounts for the delay and the Yendi project, status of the work of the project, and when the project is expected to commence. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
More boreholes to help the people.
During proceedings on Wednesday, the House also recomposed the various committees of Parliament following the change in leadership of the Minority Caucus.
At the beginning of this meeting, the Minority Caucus effected some changes to the membership of the leadership. And the Speaker, the changes necessitated the recomposition of some of the committees in order to the committee therefore met and reconsidered the composition of the membership of the committees having regard to the importance of their mandate and the leadership role to be played by the new leaders of the majority in the committees. The recomposition was based on the standing orders of Parliament and the ratio 138-137 representing the numerical strength.
Changes are required simply to afford the new leadership of the minority the opportunity to participate in the specific committee deliberations and to be able to vote. So the changes are limited to only those committees at this stage, Mr. Speaker. I encourage colleagues to approve these changes to allow the new leadership of the minority to participate as members of these committees. That's so support, Mr. Speaker.
Reporting from Parliament, my name is Ni Ayukwe Okain for Citi News.
Portions of the slum that serve as home for many were raised down. Fire service to de-escalate the fire from spreading to other facilities. Fred, who was at the location in time to witness the situation. Fred, tell us more about the incident now.
Yes, so the situation here is that dozens of residents living in Timber Market here at Old Fadam a distress call to the officers of the Ghana National Fire Service and National Fire Service to respond and prevent the fire from escalating to other properties around. But those who were sleeping only heard the noise and had the opportunity to rush out without saving their properties. Those who were awake when the incident occurred only managed to salvage these properties you see in the open space. I can see a woman here who is basically or literally in cloth. Were you affected?
And fridge too.
Your what?
Fridge too. I get fridge too.
Okay. And where do you sleep?
In that place.
So it's also bent. How are you going to cope tonight?
I not get anything.
But what really caused the fire?
I don't know. I'm sick, so I'm sleeping. I don't know what is happening. And making noise, and I get up. So yes, it's for me.
How did you manage to bring it?
Heard noise, and I decided to come out when I was.
It's actually bring all these things out. So they've managed the situation to steal the belongings of the little things that have been salvaged. Those are some of the cylinders. Someone through negligence left fire unattended and the situation escalated. What is your your account of the situation?
We was here and we saw fire from that place. So this burning of this fire is not from this nearby here. It's from far away.
So it started escalating and it got to your properties.
Yes.
And now you also had your cylinder there that exploded. Everything is out of
everything.
Exploded, and now he's taking in communities like this. Mosquito coil, you leave them unattended or causes here. Some of them too are as a result of electrical issues. You know, here one person will pick the from the source of supply, and then all of them will tap in, and so electrical problems have also been part. But what we are picking now is that there was someone cooking. Of hand. So according to them, it initially was in two of their structures, and once they tried and they couldn't, this is where we are. The residents are using buckets to fetch water from the hose and using it to help go to where the fire is. They can see pockets of fire at certain locations. My name is Fred Duo reporting for Citi News.
and technical. The service says to school on February to begin. The following report has more.
Several for candidates who sat for the 2022 Basic Education time parents are expected to use to prepare their wards for school. In the placement to some structural adjustments on the selection portal. Nevertheless, addressing the media on Wednesday, February 15, the service announced the release of the
Selection and Placement System, CSSPS, for senior high schools and TVET school site will be going live any moment from this minute. $329 registered candidates, 538,000 372,780 have been automatically placed in at least one of their choices. However, 165,601 candidates representing 30.76%, could not be matched with any of their choices. All such students are
the check their school to begin.
Per the calendar for 2023, the first year students are to report to school on February 20, 2023. So from next week, February 20, students can report to schools for registration and possible orientation for we strongly caution parents and guardians to be on the alert. Individual new amount of money for the placement of the awards. Such persons are to be reported immediately to the police and to the GES, or possibly to the TVET service for us to pick it up.
You're still live on the Citi Newsroom. I'm Frima Edunyame. Still to come. After Tuesday's misunderstanding between some
Creamy Plus is a fully skimmed evaporated milk. Creamy Plus is available in a shop near you.
This is the neighborhood I'm having my twins.
The very reason why I took it for us. See, the price is very good and it's spacious to contain all of us.
Alphabet City. Now I'm in.
To me, Parliamentary, bank and I'm not say another Alphabet City. The pension pay me 20%. The payment plan, I want to share my man. Just say, very smooth.
This is a healthy place. Eating peace. Come on.
The ABC of Home Sweet Home.
Alphabet City is a class. Access roads. We have 3 bedrooms and 2 washrooms. 3 bedrooms and 3 washrooms with boys' quarters. We have 3 bedrooms and 4 washrooms. We have 2 bedrooms and 2 washrooms, all with all Alphabet City on 0240-111119 or 0504499. The ABC of Home Sweet Home.
Today he has been extra sweet, and the way he looks at me.
I have done everything by the book. It's on. Hey, but I have to get some condoms, Charlie.
From HIV, STI, infection. Don't
Thanks for staying. Now, there was relative calm at the University of Ghana campus on Wednesday after Tuesday's misunderstanding between some students and the police, which led to the arrest of 18 persons. Now, former occupants of the Commonwealth Hall clashed with the police as they tried to make their way into their previous halls. In the following report, Citi News interacted with management of the university, who indicated
18 persons were arrested after Tuesday afternoon's disturbances or besieged their side as heavy security deployed to campus. News checks at the Ghana Police Headquarters revealed that the arrested persons efforts to get the release of all the arrested persons, but management
taking the laws of the land into their own hands, saying that the injunction had not been respected, and so they were going to enforce the injunction. It doesn't make sense. I mean, we are not in a jungle. We live in a democracy where there is rule of law. And so if a court has granted an injunction and you think that the institution or the one that has been injuncted ask or to cite the institution for contempt. If you are not a when you are taken to court, you prove your studentship. If you are not able to prove that you are a student, then the laws of the land deals with you. We have a lot of, we've sent some to you, we have a lot of evidence, video evidence to show. Some
has condemned the actions of the security
had been implemented. Now the issues are I don't even have the full facts on what the ruling is. I don't have the legal, and I may not be the best person legally to explain the court order. But the court order got to the university yesterday. Now the boys, the students went to Commonwealth yesterday to enforce the court order, and that is where the issues are. SRC was not informed of the problems they were facing. SRC was but then before you realized there were investigations are still underway as to what exactly happened. But I'll use this opportunity to condemn any act of violence that happened yesterday, either on the part of the Commonwealth boys and either on the part of the police. I believe that we can use other means than violence to ensure that we all live in a law and order environment. As we speak, I'm not
President Akufo-Addo says he has had to take firm and tough decisions to save the country from major crises. Nana Akufo-Addo says the current economic challenges and the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic enabled him to take some very bold and critical decisions to save the country. Citi News' Sami Wiafe has more.
At an interactive session with students of the Wesley Girls Senior economic crisis Ghana finds itself allowed him and his government to take some decisions which looked very unpopular. COVID-19 pandemic also made government consider a number of options to save lives. He says as a take was important.
With the problems that there are and all the difficulties which we all recognize, if I am also seen to be uncertain, unstable, wobbling and nothing, it cannot be of any good. And to make sure that I reflect that for the people of Ghana, and that they understand that the problems that they're going through are problems that are surmountable and not ones in which we have to hang our heads and be defeated. But it is important, I think, in leadership that you do show that composure so that events when they occur are events that that can be surmounted and controlled. And this, the most dramatic aspect of it since I've been president, of course, was Switzerland. I'd gone to an official visit to Switzerland. I'd gone then to Davos. Turned on the television early in the morning, and I don't know whether it was BBC or CNN was reporting on this outburst of an epidemic in China. And I immediately got very alarmed because I know about the cause.
Government is working to rectify it.
It was better to make sure that everybody could read and write and could have a certain minimum amount of education. As you know, we haven't worked them all out perfectly yet. The high school thing came about.
Now, has rejected calls for his office to withdraw a letter advising the Auditor General in the timing of the publication of audit reports. The Office of the Attorney General has been criticized after he advised against the Auditor General's publication of his reports before Parliament considered same. Now, CGD, who heavily criticized the opinion, believe the Attorney General cannot advise the Auditor General. Noted that the criticisms are baseless.
The response from the Office of the Attorney General follows criticisms that greeted his advice to the Auditor General in the aftermath of the publication of the report on COVID-19 expenditure. The Attorney General, who was concerned about the public controversies that greeted the report, says the practice whereby the law and prejudicial to the work done by Parliament. This view has been heavily criticized by civil society organizations and some members of the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament. The critics have argued that the opinion is an affront to the independence of the Office of the Auditor General. But Godfred Yeboah-Dame has, however, described such claims as untrue.
The Auditor General, especially this current Auditor General, clearly has been up to the task. And I do not think that we ought to sensationalize the issues by this unwarranted perception that the Attorney General or any member of government is seeking to interfere with the functions of the Auditor General. The Auditor General is doing a good job, but of course, in doing so, he must be guided by the Constitution.
Critics of the But Godfred Dame
in the law, Article 189 of the Constitution, 88 of the Constitution, which shows that indeed the Attorney General ought to be the legal advisor to the Audit Service, which is part of the Public Service of Ghana, and that's the Auditor General. Is also part of the Audit Services.
The processes espoused in his letter on how the Auditor General ought to have carried out his work is the constitutionally required procedure.
Well, I think the procedure has set out the Constitution that the Auditor General, upon the preparation of his report, is required to submit same to Parliament. Parliament is also required to debate same and refer to an appropriate committee of Parliament. So that process actually implies deliberation and scrutiny. Petition of unconstitutionality. Any unconstitutionality. In the act into a constitutionality, it doesn't change the nature of the act.
He has thus rejected calls for a withdrawal of the advice to the Auditor General.
I think it's actually very much unjustified. I was mandated to write. I stand by the contents of the press release today, and clearly you see the constitutional and statutory provisions that I advise in support of my position. It tells you that my position was justified in law, and on the contrary, the positions taken by some civil society members are clearly insupportable. I think that the call for me to withdraw an advice that I gave to the Auditor General in lawful exercise of my constitutional mandate under
Citi Newsroom still to come. With patronage of Made in Ghana goods.
That's why by giving up grew up and confident smile so she can succeed and achieve all of her dreams. Because
that houses the most luxurious antique and contemporary furniture. We stock presidential, royal, ministerial, with one of the largest choices of genuine Regency and Victorian dining furniture, which once stood for England's finest craftsmanship. Renowned across the world for its luxurious and detailed features, alongside a brilliant blend of Italian contemporary Versace royal set in absolute elegance. Visit our website www.jamilahome.com. Contact us via phone call and WhatsApp on 0302 43. We are located at 13 Westland Boulevard, Accra. Jamila Home, your first and best friend in the world.
big feet. Ghana is a country that's full of historic soul food without a touch of ethnicity. And what is ethnicity if it's not from your village? This season of all things Ghanaian is upon us, and we are here to celebrate an aspect of our Ghanaianness with the Back to Your Village Food Bazaar, happening live from the 25th to the 26th of March 2023 at the forecourt of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. To genuine much more. Interested vendors of indigenous 0205-973-973 to book a stand and be part of the Back to Your Village Food Bazaar 2023. Anyamime, the country make hoto. The Back to Your Village Food Bazaar on the 25th. By Citi TV with support from Citi FM Ghana Limited.
Thank you for staying. Now, the Chief Executive The idea behind the theme for this year's Heritage Month, Make It Ghana, is to appeal to Ghanaians to consume and patronize everything Ghana. Now, the 2023 Citi FM and Citi TV Heritage Month was launched with a call on Ghanaians to rally behind the vision of promoting the tradition and culture of the country through tourism, film and investment. Now, speaking on the Citi Breakfast Show, Samuel Atamensa said the month-long celebration through film, tourism and investment. There is more in this report.
The Heritage Month is an educative of historic through food, traditions, music and fashion among which will begin from February 27 through to the interest and people of historic as the trip of
Make It Ghana is an overarching theme to drive a certain kind of appeal. That compels us to and all these whatever, because the only country where you are not a stranger is Ghana. But we chose it, and an ambassador of the country based on the memorabilia that you're using. And a t-shirt, Make It Ghana. Somebody says, this is what we are saying. That's something that speaks about Ghana on its own.
He also says the month-long celebration is a deliberate attempt to make Ghana the desired destination through film, tourism and investment.
We are That's true. We need more
like, yeah.
It's almost like how many forts and castles we have. So that BEC or the
BEC, yeah,
the students
can
just go there, pay just one CD and be told the story with proper videos. Why is it that we have had Gunda barracks in our history? We have had Arakan barracks, Kutu Achampo. We have had till today. No child is allowed to go there and be told the story.
Wow.
If the child pays just one CD and be told the real story of how it happened. Isn't that tourism? Film is doing its work so far,
National Film
so
Authority.
good, but they don't have money.
Yeah.
And they don't have money because, not because somebody hates them, but it's because people have not been able to conceptualize the real value that film production. You understand? There's a commercial angle, but why? Because we still have
is organized. The National Film
And so we wish you a happy Heritage Month in advance. And yes, we will make it Ghana. This is where we part company. We have more news on our website, citinewsroom.com. Subscribe to video content from Citi TV. You can